What's up, knuckleheads? Listen, in today's video, I'm really just going to be talking to y'all about the whole toughest year ever video. This is a follow-up to the toughest year ever video. First and foremost, since that video, I have been overwhelmed and humbled by the amount of outreach that I got from that video. I've also been very humbled by the number of people. Like I said in that video, if it just touched one person and it made a difference, it was worth it. But like, I mean, I can't tell you guys how many people have reached out to me, and that's not a figure of speech. Like, I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me and said that that video was what they needed at that time. And so right now I've got that feeling again, and I'm just gonna stop not trusting my gut because when I do that, my life goes wrong. And so I'm just gonna talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing to get back on track. You know, I'm a firm believer that a lot of times people don't try because they're scared of failure. And I have been a hardcore advocate that, like, fishing's 90% mental and it's about 10% the rest of the stuff. And I actually haven't been practicing what I preach. I've been winging it. I've been kind of half-assing it. And to be honest with you guys, I haven't been confident myself because I've had so many distractions going on. I haven't caught as many big fish in the last few years as I used to. I have gotten by on whatever I consider the minimum to make a successful video. And, you know, I don't feel confident when I do that. I don't feel fulfilled when I do that. And I don't feel like I'm delivering you guys, you know, what you signed up for when you either subscribed, clicked on the video to watch it, commented, or whatever. And so I'm going to double down on being better. And here's my problem that I have learned about myself is that I'm not really good at half-assing stuff. I'm just not. I gotta whole ass it or it just doesn't work for me. And so one of the things that happened as I was going through this process and going through this journey and kind of coming out of the kick and the junk from the divorce and all that other stuff is I had to ask myself, actually, I read this in a book. When were you last happy? Go back to your last happy memory. And if you could rewind to that day in your life, what was that guy happy about? Wow. You know, epiphany, right? Crazy. We obviously can't do that. We can't always go back and follow a timeline. But fortunately for me, I have my world, my life is chronicled here on YouTube. And as a public figure, you actually do have a timeline in life where you can go back. And so I started going back and started looking. And really, when I started gaining the weight, when I started always launching at boat ramps, when I started always taking the easy way out, I didn't feel like different than everybody else. I didn't feel like I was trying harder. That trying harder and working harder makes you feel like you have a competitive advantage. Discipline makes you feel like you have a competitive advantage. Warriors go into battle with confidence because they feel prepared. Well, I didn't feel prepared. I actually went back and read my own book, and I'm rereading Knowing Bass from Dr. Keith Jones because, you know, that's a good foundational reset. And so I'm basically just starting from scratch, and I'm going to share that scratch start over with you guys and say, look, this little knucklehead nation, this little community or tribe or gaggle or whatever the heck you want to call it, is a blessing to me. And I think it's a blessing to a lot of the other folks that are part of it. And so I'm obviously going to start trying to monetize this channel in different ways so that I'm not as sponsor dependent, because I'll be straight up with you. The sponsor dependency in many cases was a lot of the stress. And so I went back and thought, when was I last happy? Purely happy. And honestly, I think it was back when I was chasing big fish and I was working out and I was, you know, the tip of the spear and I was grinding. And I had that feeling of being, you know, it's going to sound corny when I say this, but for the folks that have served, you'll understand what I'm talking about. That warrior mindset. And to me, it's really hard for me to be out there grinding as hard as I can if I don't take on that warrior mindset, top, bottom, middle, inside out. And so I'm doing that. I'm not saying you have to, But I will say that this is the case. Investing in yourself, discipline, and then investing in discipline to invest in yourself in every area of your life. Reading about what you love, whether it's fishing or not. That one little nugget that you'll pick up before you head out for a fishing trip, that can be confidence for catching one fish that you wouldn't have caught any other way, leads into a snowball effect when you get out on the water. And I've just got to get back to that so that I can share that with you guys. And that's my job, right? That literally is my job, is to inspire and motivate you knuckleheads to do better by sharing knowledge and information with you. And so to me, this is not a fishing video, because to me, I see people all the time get into a funk, or they lack confidence. And because they lack confidence, they don't catch fish. And because they don't catch fish, it further erodes their confidence. And I think a lot of times failure demotivates us, okay? Failure demotivates most people. And when I was happiest is when failure didn't feel demotivating, it felt like a challenge. When I was most happy is when I was disciplined, when I was sore because I had kicked my own ass at the gym, when I was sore because I had walked 15 miles, when I was sore because I had ran 3 miles, when I was sore because I stretched for 2 hours, when I was sore because I went to the gym, because I knew, based on the old Marine Corps saying, pain is weakness leaving our body, that every time I was sore, it's because I was making myself better. And to me, especially where I'm at right now, and I think this is going to resonate with a lot of you guys out there, whether you're 22 years old or 48 years old like I am, or 100 years old, maybe not 100, but pretty dang close. You can benefit from a strong, positive mental attitude. And you guys have really helped me reset my positive mental attitude. And so, I'm probably just going to name this video Toughest Year Ever Update. That way the people that video resonated with can see kind of the update. I got a new spring in my step. I've got a new twinkle in my eye. I could have been down on myself when I jumped back on the scales and realized I had eased back over the 300-pound mark, or I could be resigned to fix it, okay? And I think a lot of times we say to ourselves, golly, and we dwell and we sit and we spin in the failure. We spin and waller in the situation we created for ourselves. Because let's be honest, we create these situations for ourselves, or even if some external force creates it for us, it's up to us to determine how we react to it and how we act, okay? The word react has the word act built into it. And I used to say that to myself all the time, okay? Growing up in a batshit crazy household with a lot of turmoil and alcoholism and drug addiction and all that stuff. Again, this is not a woe is me video, but growing up through that, when I joined the military and realized that, man, if you invest in yourself and you get better, you'll be better. I didn't have to believe all the crap that I couldn't be successful because I was poor white trash, or I couldn't be successful because I didn't do this or I didn't do that. And I used to take everything that somebody said I couldn't do as a freaking dare. And so now what I've done is I wrote down all my fears. I wrote down all of my insecurities, and I basically dared myself to get rid of them. I dared myself to overcome them, put my fear in the rear. And fear's a good thing, okay? I haven't had fear for a long time because I haven't challenged myself enough to have anything to be scared of failing. I've sat in my comfort zone. I've had success, and then I've coasted. And I'm just done with that, man, because I think anytime I do that, I'm not fulfilling who I want to be to me and who I owe to be to you, because I want that to set the example on how you get to be successful and build the life that you don't need a vacation from, and build the world that fulfills you, that makes you happy, that makes you want to get up in the mornings and get after it, because you don't look like you're missing 2 hours of sleep. You look like you're getting 2 hours of life that other people are wasting. And so to me, I've got to get back to when I was proud of me. So for 23 is going to be the year of me, and not being selfish, but really kind of, subscribing to that oxygen mask on the airplane, falling down and putting the mask on yourself first, because I have to invest in making me a better me. Otherwise, I can't be anything for anybody else. And for years and years and years, I just didn't know how to say no. I would lock my trail schedule in, and then people would ask me to add more trails. And then before you knew it, I was saying yes to everybody. And then I was overwhelmed, and I was killing myself trying to be, again, everything to everybody. This year, I got to focus on me. So let's let 23 be the year of me, and the year of you making it about you, because you can be better for your family. You can be better for your job. You can be better for whatever community you're part of. You can be better for this community if you focus on making yourself better. So JT from Fishing with Gramps and I are doing a little 1st to 50 weight loss challenge, just a little of a kickoff thing. I'll put the link to that in the description box once it's fully set up. And I'm going to invite you knuckleheads to jump in on it after the 1st of the year. And it's going to be a year-long thing where we hold each other accountable. The reason that I gained the weight back, the reason that I got off of the momentum schedule, is I didn't have a battle buddy that was keeping me honest. I didn't have the ability to keep myself accountable. And I stopped doing these videos where I just talk to you knuckleheads about what I'm going through, so that you can understand that it's not all, you know, a lot of influencers and a lot of people that are in my position don't want to share this crap. And to me, it builds a false sense of, it demotivates people that are watching. If you paint this broad strokes picture that everything in your life is perfect, and then people say to themselves, well, I can't be what that guy is because I got all these struggles, or I can't do what he's doing because I got all these struggles. And so to me, it's important to break through that bull crap ceiling that we've created, you know, with putting our best life forward and living my whatever and faking it on social media. So the one thing you're never going to get from me is I'm not going to fake it just to make it. You're going to get where I am, who I am, and what I am. And I just really haven't been that happy with who I was. And I think that translated, you know, into my marriage. And I don't think I ever was me, the true me that I needed to be. And there's no wonder that it didn't work, right? Because, you know, I wasn't all in on me. So how could I be all in on something else? And that's been a tough realization to make. It felt selfless, or I'm sorry, it felt selfish. And I prefer to be a selfless person. And so I'm going to focus on doing things that are volunteer work and raising awareness for things that make me feel better about me. And so it isn't selfless, I'll be the first to admit that, but it is doing good for the sake of motivating other folks to do good. And I think deep down inside, all of us feel a little better about who and what we are when we do a lot of things for other people. So this year, I got to draw the line in the sand. I got to be a better me for me, so I can be a better me for every other obligation that I have. And I'm going to share that journey with you guys. I'm going to share it on my personal Instagram page. I'm going to share it on the stories here. I'm going to try to keep that content somewhat separated, but every now and then you're going to get a video like this where I just kind of let you know where I am, because I want you to know why I am who I am, if you have any inkling to try to do what I do. And I think that a lot of people should try to break free of the bondage of a specific life that somebody else mapped out for you, and make your life what you want it to be. And so it starts with being the best you that you can be, because if you are going to be your own person, you got to have somebody awesome to depend on. And I haven't had somebody awesome to depend on. And I put too much on Christy in our marriage and thought that maybe she could prop me up. And really, the answer was there all along. I was just too overwhelmed to see it. And you guys did that for me. So thank you so much for your response to the last video. Hope this video kind of helps a lot of you guys start to hear that Rocky theme in your head again and start to get yourself, you know, fired up. It isn't about moving a mountain all at once. It's 1 teaspoon at a time, 1 teaspoon at a time. And as long as you're making progress and as long as you have momentum, you can avoid having no momentum. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next video.